Peak English Podcast.
From Peak English with Class. Peak English Podcast. Hey, English learners. Welcome back to the Peak English Podcast, your cozy place to learn easy English through real-life conversations and improve your life at the same time. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Alex. And as always, we're really happy you decided to spend a little bit of your day with us.
We really are. It is so great to have you here.
Before we jump in, I want to remind everyone about our level today. This is a B1 to B2 English episode.
Right in the middle. Not too easy, not too hard.
Exactly. So if you don't understand every word, just relax. You can always listen again.
Okay, Alex. I need to get something off my chest today.
Get something off your chest? You mean you need to share a secret or a frustration with me?
Yes, exactly. I need to share a frustration. Lately, I have been feeling so stuck.
Stuck? Like you are not moving forward in life?
Yes! Everything is so expensive right now. The economy is terrible, and my rent just went up again.
I hear you, Sarah. The economy is definitely challenging for a lot of people right now.
It just feels unfair. I can't save any money, and it is completely out of my control. It is the economy's fault.
I understand why you feel that way, Sarah. But complaining about the economy won't make you rich.
Wow. Okay, that was a little bit painful, Alex.
I am sorry. I don't mean to be harsh, but it is true, right?
Well, yes, but what am I supposed to do?
Today, we are going to talk about how to stop complaining and start building. We need to learn how to control what is actually in our hands.
Control what is in our hands? You mean focus only on the things we can actually change?
Exactly. It is a concept called taking extreme responsibility.
Extreme responsibility?
Yes, even when a problem is not 100% your fault, you still find a way to take responsibility for it.
Wait, what? If someone else makes a mistake, why should I take the blame? That sounds exhausting.
It sounds crazy at first. In fact, I used to see quotes about this on Facebook and Instagram all the time.
Oh, me too. Those motivational quotes that make you feel guilty for just breathing.
Right. But I actually tried it. I asked myself, why are humans so bad at admitting their mistakes?
That is a really good question. We usually try to point our fingers at someone else.
Exactly. We point fingers. We blame our boss, the weather, the government, or the economy.
Or we blame the traffic when we are late for a meeting.
Yes, but I realized that when I started taking responsibility for everything, even things indirectly related to me, my life actually became much lighter and easier.
Lighter? I would think carrying all that blame would make you feel heavy and sad.
I will explain exactly why it makes you feel lighter today. I promise, by the end of this episode, you will have a completely unexpected and simple solution to stop feeling stuck.
But before Alex reveals his secrets, we want to hear from you, our lovely listeners.
Yes, it is time for our reflection challenge. We want you to pause the podcast and type your answer in the comments.
Here is the question for today. I'm your name from your country, and the one thing I complain about the most is...
Don't be shy. We all complain. Just fill in the blanks.
For example, you could write, I'm Sarah from the USA, and the one thing I complain about the most is having no free time.
Or, I'm Tom from Vietnam, and I complain the most about the traffic.
Exactly. Go to the comment section on YouTube and let us know. It creates a really safe space for all of us to learn together.
We will give you a few seconds to do that.
All done? Great. Let's get into the core conversation. Okay, Alex, I am ready to stop complaining. But it is really hard. When things go wrong, my brain automatically wants to blame someone else.
Yeah, it is a very natural human reaction. But today, we are going to break this topic into 3 tiny habits.
Tiny habits? I like that. Small changes are easier to manage.
Exactly. If you master these 3 small habits, you will completely change the way you look at your problems. Let's start with the first one.
Well, my biggest struggle is when I try to learn something new and I fail. For example, if I get a bad score on a test, I immediately think the teacher is terrible or this subject is just too hard.
Oh, I completely understand. It is so easy to point the finger at the school or the environment.
Point the finger? You mean to blame someone else for your own problems?
Exactly. To point the finger means to accuse someone else. And actually, my younger sister did the exact same thing.
Wait, really? What happened?
Well, I was sitting on my couch at home, drinking a cup of coffee. My sister walked in, holding her university grades.
Uh-oh. Let me guess. She didn't do very well?
Yeah, she had failed 2 out of her 5 subjects. I remember my heart sank. I felt a tight knot in my stomach.
A tight knot in your stomach? Oh, that means you felt really anxious and nervous physically, right?
Yes, I felt very worried for her. I looked at her and asked, "Why are your grades so low this semester?"
And what did she say? Did she take responsibility?
Not at all. She looked right at me and said, "The subjects are too hard, and the teacher's teaching style is crazy."
Oh, wow. She blamed the teacher and the difficulty of the subject.
Mm-hmm. She also said, "My friends also got bad grades, so it's not just me."
Honestly, I have used that exact excuse before. It makes you feel better when other people are failing too.
Right, but psychologically, our brains do this to protect our ego. We don't want to admit that we are not smart enough or that we didn't try hard enough.
So instead of feeling like a failure, we create a story where we are the victim of a bad teacher.
Exactly. But I spent 20 minutes explaining to her that this mindset will only pull her backward. I told her she needed to research how university learning is different from high school.
Wow, so she had to change her study methods? What is the tiny habit here?
Habit number 1 is stop playing the victim and focus on your methods. She realized she didn't know how to study properly. She fixed her method, and the next semester, her grades were very high.
That is amazing. She stopped blaming the teacher and took control. I love that. But what happens when it really isn't your fault?
Ah, that brings us perfectly to our second tiny habit. What is a situation where you feel like you are blamed for someone else's mistake?
Ugh, team projects at work. Sometimes I work on a big report with other people. If someone else makes a mistake on their part, the boss yells at the whole team.
That is incredibly frustrating. It feels so unfair, doesn't it?
Yes! I always want to scream, "It wasn't me! I didn't do that part!"
I know that feeling all too well. When I worked at Vietcom Bank, we had to do these massive 50-page reports.
50 pages? That sounds like a nightmare.
It was, and usually 4 of those pages were written by other departments, not my team.
So you had to combine everyone's work into one big document?
Exactly. One day, I was sitting at my desk, staring blankly at my computer screen. My boss walked over and pointed at a huge error in the report.
Oh no. Let me guess. The error was in the section that the other department wrote?
Yes, it was in the 4 pages I didn't even write. My hands started shaking. I felt a rush of heat in my face. I thought, this is so unfair. I am going to get in trouble for their mistake.
I would be so angry. I would have immediately thrown the other team under the bus.
Thrown them under the bus? Can you explain that idiom for our listeners?
Oh, sure. To throw someone under the bus means to blame them so that you don't get in trouble. Like saying, "It's John's fault, not mine."
Perfect explanation. Yes, my instinct was to throw them under the bus. But I didn't.
Wait, why not? It actually was their fault.
Because when we constantly pass the buck, we look weak and defensive to our leaders.
Pass the buck. Meaning to pass the responsibility to someone else. So, what did you do instead?
I looked at my boss and said, "I am sorry. Even though I didn't write this section, it was my fault for not double-checking their work before submitting it to you."
You apologized for a mistake you didn't even make?
Yes, and that is habit number 2. Own your 1% fault. Even if a mistake is 99% someone else's fault, find your 1% and own it.
Wow. So your 1% was that you didn't double check the final document. That is really powerful.
It is. When you take responsibility, your boss respects you more, and more importantly, you take your power back. You are not a victim of your lazy coworkers anymore.
I love that. Own your 1% fault. Okay, I think I am ready for the final habit.
Great. But this last one is about what to do when you are completely overwhelmed by a new environment.
Oh, I hate that feeling. Like when you move to a new city or start learning a really difficult skill and you just feel like giving up.
Exactly. Years ago, before I ever studied abroad, I decided to go to Ireland to study finance.
Ireland. That must have been a huge culture shock.
It was massive. Before I went, I had to research everything: the teaching style, the professors, the culture.
It sounds like you were trying to prepare yourself, but did it actually work?
Well, I caught the rhythm very quickly, but a lot of my friends from overseas struggled. They spent their free time going to bars, drinking beer, and traveling.
Right. They were enjoying the new country instead of focusing on their studies.
Yeah, but the classes were incredibly hard. We were studying stocks and bonds, and I honestly had no idea what they were.
Wait, you were studying finance, but you didn't know what a stock was?
I know, it sounds ridiculous. I was sitting in my dorm room, surrounded by thick textbooks. My eyes were burning from reading so much.
You must have felt so exhausted. I would have definitely complained that the university was too difficult.
I wanted to. I thought to myself, I am completely out of my depth here. But instead of complaining, I called a friend in Vietnam who studied at the Academy of Finance.
And what did you ask him?
I asked him to explain the absolute basics to me. For days, he explained what a stock was, what a bond was, and why companies issue them.
So instead of making excuses, you asked for help and started from zero.
Exactly. And that is habit number 3. Stop blaming your lack of knowledge and start learning from zero. I ended up scoring in the top 5, 6, or 7 of a class of nearly 200 students.
That is incredible, Alex. You didn't blame the difficult curriculum. You took responsibility for your own gap in knowledge.
Thank you. It wasn't easy, but taking responsibility always leads to growth. Complaining just keeps you stuck in the same place.
Wow. Okay. This has been a really deep conversation, Alex. My brain is working hard right now.
I know it is a lot to process, Sarah. Taking extreme responsibility is not easy, but it is life-changing.
It really is. Before we move on, let's do a quick recap of those 3 tiny habits.
Yes, good idea. Habit number 1 was stop playing the victim and focus on your methods.
Right. Like your sister, who stopped blaming her teacher and just changed her study habits.
Exactly. Then, habit number 2 was own your 1% fault.
Even if a mistake is mostly someone else's fault, you have to find the tiny part that you can control and take responsibility for it.
You got it perfectly. And finally, habit number 3. Stop blaming your lack of knowledge and start learning from zero.
Yeah, just like you did with your finance classes in Ireland. Instead of complaining, you just asked for help.
That's right. When you stop complaining, you actually give yourself the power to fix your life.
I feel so much better. I am definitely not going to blame the economy for my problems today.
I am so glad to hear that, Sarah. Now, it is time for everyone's favorite part of the show, the word tour.
Yay! This is where we review some of the most useful idioms and phrases we used in today's episode.
We have 5 great phrases today. Sarah, do you want to introduce the first one?
Absolutely. The first phrase is to get something off your chest.
This means you need to talk about something that has been worrying you or making you frustrated. You feel relieved after you say it.
Let's give them a daily life example. I had to get something off my chest, so I finally told my roommate that her loud music bothers me.
That's a great example. Here is another one. He felt so much better after he got his secret off his chest.
Now it's your turn to practice. Repeat after me. I need to get something off my chest.
I need to get something off my chest.
Great job! What is our second phrase, Alex?
Our second phrase is to point the finger.
Oh, we use this one a lot. It means to blame someone else for a mistake or a problem. Literally, like you are pointing your finger at them.
Exactly. For example, when the window broke, the kids immediately started pointing the finger at each other.
Kids always do that. Another example is, don't point the finger at me. I wasn't even here yesterday.
All right, listeners, repeat after me. Stop pointing the finger at everyone else.
Stop pointing the finger at everyone else.
Well done. The third idiom is a really fun one. To throw someone under the bus.
It sounds violent, but it just means you blame another person to save yourself from getting in trouble.
Right. Here is an example for work. My coworker threw me under the bus when the project failed, even though it was his idea.
That is the worst feeling. Here is a second example. A good leader will never throw their team under the bus.
Perfect. Now, repeat after me. He threw me under the bus.
He threw me under the bus.
Nice. Let's keep moving. Our fourth phrase is very similar, to pass the buck.
To pass the buck means you refuse to take responsibility for a problem, and you force someone else to deal with it.
Yes, like this. The manager didn't want to deal with the angry customer, so he passed the buck to his assistant.
Oh, managers love doing that. Another example. You are the team captain, so you can't just pass the buck when things go wrong.
Okay, your turn. Repeat after me. Don't pass the buck.
Don't pass the buck.
Excellent pronunciation, everyone. We are at our final phrase for today. To be out of your depth.
This means you are in a situation that is too difficult for you to handle, or you don't have enough knowledge to succeed.
Like me in my finance class. Here is an example. When they started talking about advanced computer coding, I completely felt out of my depth.
Or a social example. I was invited to a dinner with famous scientists, and I really felt out of my depth.
Let's practice this last one. Repeat after me. I felt totally out of my depth.
I felt totally out of my depth.
You all did a fantastic job today. Building your vocabulary is just like building good habits. It takes a little bit of practice every day.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's word tour. And really, thank you for spending your time with us today.
Yes, whether you are cooking dinner right now, commuting on a busy train, or just lying in bed, we appreciate you being here.
If this episode helped you feel a little bit lighter today, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. It helps us grow and make more free content for you.
And remember, taking responsibility is just the first step. If you want to keep improving yourself and your English, we have the perfect video for you to watch next.
Oh? What should they watch next, Alex?
If you found this helpful, click on the next video on the screen to learn about Change the Way You Learn a Foreign Language. It will completely change your perspective on studying.
I highly recommend that one. It is a game changer.
Well, that is all for today. Keep practicing, keep building, and stop complaining.
This is Sarah.
And this is Alex. You've been listening to the Peak English Podcast. Bye.
Your progress doesn't end here. To continue advancing your Speak English skills, click on the next video or explore the additional videos we've thoughtfully selected for you.